So last time we fought through Pokemon Ruby with only Zangoose and it was a fun run. Today we're going to see if Seviper can do any better in Pokemon Sapphire. In terms of stats, Seviper has good attack and special attack and is pretty average everywhere else. Our move list is pretty solid as we get some awesome coverage moves like Flamethrower and Earthquake. This should be a pretty interesting run, as just like my last one, I haven't gotten around to using this Pokemon before. Remember, this is a race, so at the end of the video, I'll be comparing Seviper's finish time to Zangoose's from the previous run. Personally, I think Seviper might have a harder time overall, since it doesn't get any proper setup moves. But hey, I was pretty survived by Zangoose's run, so who knows how this will go. So who do you think will win this race? Let me know down in the comments. Most of you know the rules already, but if you don't, here they are. I can only use Seviper in battle, but I need other Pokemon to use HMs. No items in battle other than held items, and that's it really. Let's go. Starting off, I replaced Torchic with Seviper so that my rival would have a Mudkip. This becomes part ground type, so it's probably the hardest starter for me to fight. My ability is Shed Skin, meaning I have a 30% chance of healing a status condition at the end of a turn. We have a Calm nature, meaning more special defense and less attack. This might help us survive better against psychic types, but since our stab moves are physical, it's most likely going to hinder us. Oh well, Zangoose had a bad nature last time, so I guess this is fair. I made sure to hit level 7 before challenging May, since my only starting move was Wrap, a really weak multi-turn move that's inaccurate. Lick at level 7 isn't much better, but it should carry us until I can get Bite at level 10. When I got to Roxanne, I was nearly at level 18 from clearing out all the local trainers. I guess Seviper levels up faster than Zangoose. Anyway, we have Bite now, and since this is Gen 3, all dark moves are special, so we beat her pretty easily. Not too often that a poison type would have an easy time against a rock gym. I went straight after Brawley's fighting gym next. Machop was an easy 2-shot, and I tried for Screech against Makuhita, but missed as he used Sand Attack. I got worried when I kept missing as he started setting up his bulk ups. But thankfully our newly learned Poison Tail's high crit chance activated and ignored his buffs, granting us a solid first try victory. The battle with May under Cycling Road is next, and this one is known for its difficulty. We can take out Shroomish easily, but Marshtomp did half my health in damage with Mudshot, as we only did about a third with Bite. For some reason though, May decided that Water Gun was now a better option. She could have easily finished me off, but because of her idiotic move choice, we managed to take it out. Numel flinched off my first bite, so I beat it without any trouble. That battle could have gone a lot worse. Wattson was my first real roadblock however. He has 2 steel types, so Poison Tail won't work. I thought I was going to have to grind, but I managed to get a first try win thanks to good Shed Skin luck, and the fact that he simply didn't use his best move as much as he should have. Good thing it played out that way, or else Seviper could have lost a lot of ground in this race. We've got our first Archie fight next, and he was pretty dangerous. Ismardiana dropped my attack and accuracy before I could take him out. Because of that, I missed a few attacks on his last 2 Pokemon, while they got some solid hits in. I almost thought we were going to faint, because I remember that his Sharpedo has rough skin, and all of our moves at this point made physical contact. Thankfully, we survived with 7 HP. Man, that was nerve-wracking. Fire Gym Leader Flannery is our next target. We can deal with the 2 Slugmas easily, but Torkoal is a bit of a roadblock. It's bulky and can hit incredibly hard with Overheat, especially since Slugma set up the Sun first. Thankfully she doesn't have a white herb like an Emerald to restore her lowered stats. I kept trying to get Poison Fang's bad poison effect to kick in, but instead got a crit. Alright, I'll take it. Norman was just awful to deal with. Unlike an Emerald, he has 2 Slakings on his team that hit like a freight train. I had to resort to double teams in order to get the victory. I had a feeling that I would have to rely on this at some point, though I didn't predict having to use it this early. Even so, this battle took a whole half an hour of attempts to beat, as he can still hit us while we set up, and all of his Pokemon have Feint Attack which can't miss. I eventually decided just to grind by fighting him over and over, since I could typically beat the first 2 members of his team. From there, I eventually leveled up enough to take him out. Not gonna lie, that's probably gonna hurt our time. May is next, and you know, despite the fact that she has 2 ground types on her team, she wasn't a threat at all. Her Marshtomp's Mudshot only does about a third of our health and damage, so we beat her easily. Then again, this battle usually is a breeze. Winona ended up being really close. Her first Pokemon had Sand Attack and managed to drop our accuracy by a stage before we could take it out. Her second team member wasn't a threat, but her third was a Skarmory who resisted all of my attacks. As a result, it managed to whittle me down quite a bit before I was able to knock it out. Pelipper came out last, and this thing almost ruined me. It has Supersonic and Protect. Yeah, I bet you can see her strategy there. To her credit, it almost worked, as I was brought down into the red before she fainted. If I'd hit myself in confusion just one more time, I would have lost. Now it's time for the most anticipated battle of the challenge, the psychic leaders, Tate and Liza. If this was in Emerald, I would surely have had to grind. They can take me out in 2 hits if they double down on me. But as I was making attempts, I noticed that Lunatone deals more damage to me, and Solrock sometimes goes for Sunny Day. So I just needed a run where Lunatone took out my partner Pokemon, and Solrock set up the sun, and thankfully it didn't take too long to get. From there, I'm able to bring Solrock into healing range with Crunch. They did stall for time with Hyper Potions, but it was all over. I'm faster, and by the time they run out of potions, I can just finish them off on the next turn. This only took about 4 or 5 attempts to get to, by the way. That's probably the most surprising victory I've had so far in one of these challenges. Archie had our next fight in the bag, but he threw it like an idiot. He did his usual Mightyena annoyance strategy and used the Super Potion on Crobat while it was only at half health. I have never seen that happen before. By the time Crobat went down, I was low enough on health that his Sharpedo could have easily finished me off, but he just wasted time with Taunt and Swagger. Since I didn't hit myself in confusion, we won. Wallace is our final challenge before we can take on the league. The main threat on his team was the part ground type Whiscash, which has Earthquake. Fortunately on my second attempt, it just wasted time by sending up the rain. The rest of his team was an easy beatdown with Sludge Bomb. Milotic could have been a threat, but I got a crit, so it didn't matter. Right before we can challenge the league, Wally wants to fight us. His Altare just wasted time with Dragon Dance and never actually got a hit in. His Gardevoir did the same thing with Double Team instead of reaping the benefits of his type advantage. And the rest of his team didn't even get a chance to attack. Alright, let's quickly go over our stats before the Elite Four. They're not bad, but I've got a feeling that we might have to use Double Team quite a bit. Only one way to find out though. Sydney actually ended up helping me get the win for the first battle. His Mightyena didn't use Sound Attack for some reason, and was just taken down easily. Shiftry and Sharpedo both confused me with Swagger, but I had good confusion luck and never missed a turn, resulting in an astonishingly easy first try. Phoebe was simply not very nice. She loves moves like Psychic and Curse. Fortunately on my second attempt, I got past the first Pokemon before it could deal any major damage, and the Future Sight that it let off hardly did anything for some reason. Crunch was doing great damage, especially since I'm holding Dark Glasses to boost its power. Then my heart sank as I ran out of Crunch PP on a final Pokemon. I went for Flamethrower just to see what would happen, and holy shit, I got a crit. Hell yeah, I would not have gotten the win without that. This was only a second attempt too. Now we come to the worst battle in this run. Glacia was a brick wall, or an ice wall if you will. I lost count of the amount of failed attempts here. I just couldn't overpower her, as some of her team are really bulky and hit really hard. I couldn't rely on Double Team as she always sets up hail to whittle me down, and always gets at least one hit in. I'm gonna have to come back at a higher level. This isn't gonna bode well for our time though. A couple levels later, I came back holding a Shell Bell. This heals us a little bit every time we deal damage. Thanks to this, we finally managed to get past her. Drake had me lost for words. I almost thought that I would have to grind again. I knew that I would need to use Double Team against him, but the luck required for my strategy to work was nuts. Even despite the fact that Rock Tomb is already inaccurate, he kept managing to ignore my increased evasiveness. Furthermore, his first Flygon kept using Sandstorm, negating my Shell Bell. I also kept fainting to either his penultimate Pokemon or even his last Pokemon, which was just soul crushing. Eventually I got this run, where I managed to dodge his most powerful attacks, poison his strongest team members, and slowly chip away at him. With that awful battle behind me, there is only one fight left, and I was dreading it. Steven Stone, the Pokemon champion, the guy who specialises in steel types. You know, the type that our main attacking move won't work against. As you might expect, we had to set up Double Team. This wasn't too difficult as his Skarmory likes to waste time with spikes, plus his Steel Ring already isn't 100% accurate. He does have Aerial Ace though, which can't miss. Fortunately though, it didn't deal much damage. Thanks to this and the fact that I replaced Sludge Bomb with Earthquake, I managed to get through his whole team on only my second attempt. Even his Metagross didn't get any solid hits in. That thing would have destroyed me if it did manage to land an attack. Right, that's it. The run is over and the challenge is complete. But who finished their respective game first? Zangoose or Seviper? Last chance to guess. First off, Zangoose finished with an in-game runtime of 8:56, and Seviper's time was 9:24. Bad luck, Seviper. That last grind session was a real speed killer. If I didn't have to grind for Glacia, I honestly think Seviper could have won that. Oh well, I hope you guys enjoyed this mini-series, as comparing these two was a fun experience. For my next Pokemon challenge, we're going to take a crack at another ROM hack called Pokemon Flare, only using gift Pokemon. This is a ROM hack that lets you travel through the Kanto region backwards. As always, remember to like, share and subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. Let me know if there are any challenges you would like to see me tackle, and until next time, have an awesome day.